drive out of town, so
Oh, do you? How far?
Ohio, Toledo.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm driving by myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
so.
son's he goes to University of Iowa, so he'll be coming in.
Oh, really?
So he's coming home tomorrow. So he's gonna leave. It's only 3 hours
Okay.
in Iowa City. So he's
Right.
a senior. He's had that. He's
Oh,
been
bless
doing
his
that.
heart. Senior, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Last, you got any more on
No,
that
no,
last?
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. I would like to call our regular board meeting to order at 7:33. We are located in the Village Chambers, 2350 South 25th Avenue. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham.
Here.
Trustee Chalmalave.
Here.
Trustee Senior.
Here.
Mayor Thompson.
Here.
Trustee Shelby.
Here.
Trustee Armour.
Here.
Trustee Miller is absent currently. Madam President, we do have a quorum. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Can we all pause for a moment of silence? Thank you. Next is item 2, public comment. Madam President.
Thank you. We have one public comment from Ms. Deborah Vines. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, and everyone else. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Well, I just wanted to come and say, first of all, thank you so much to the Village of Broadview. The entire village has shown myself, my family, and the Answer Incorporated so much love, from the library to the police and fire department and the village, and thank you so much for your support with the CNN Heroes. I cannot go anywhere in the Village of Broadview without somebody saying, I voted for you. So when I stand on this stage December 11th, I am taking the Village of Broadview with me, because you have definitely been a propeller in the fuel to get the answer where we are today. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vines. I do want to say she is a hero to us in the Village of Broadview through our park district, school district, library, the village. We have several families that utilize her agency for support, and I'm just grateful that we have a resource that we can use in our community for those that have autism or other developmental disabilities. So vote every day, CNN Hero, up until December 6th, and we asking all our staff, especially those that's in the fire and the police departments, to vote for you as well, because they've taken your training, and they use the training as they do their day-to-day operations when they serve the Village of Broadview. So we're proud of you, and just keep going forward. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you. Please let the record reflect that at 7:36 p.m., Trustee Miller arrived to the meeting. Next is item 3, communications. The Village of Broadview will be closed early on Wednesday, November 23rd at 12 noon. And also, in observance of the Thanksgiving holiday, the village will be closed on Thursday, November 24th, as well as Friday, November 25th. We will reopen for business on the following Monday. Next, item 4, consideration to approve the following minutes. Minutes from the November 7th, 2022 regular board meeting.
Motion to approve.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham, do you have any questions or comments for the minutes?
No, none, Mayor.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave? Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Armour?
I have just a couple of items I would like to bring to the attention. On these minutes. Resolution, that's,
Can you tell me the page first and then?
yes, page 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee Armour had some questions there. And then the next.
On which one, item A or B?
On item B.
Okay.
And then, if you turn the page, it doesn't have a page number on it. Item D, the very first one, part of the same comment where Trustee Armour said about the stationery regarding Chief Bugling should also go in item E, like Edward. And then, on the very last page, page 5, and it may not even be a question, but we did an actual aye versus no roll call on that item.
It reflects as such.
Item 14.
You mean the adjournment, correct?
Yes.
That does reflect all in favor.
Right. I didn't know how you actually put it on the minutes, but I just wanted to.
Not necessary.
Because I remember we did an aye versus.
No, it's
no
not
roll
necessary to do that.
call. All right.
And everything else is noted. Thank you,
And
trustee.
that's all I have, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
trustee Miller.
No questions.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chamalabe.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Armour.
Yes, but I want the record to reflect those changes.
Yes, ma'am, they will be.
Thank you.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Thank you all. That carries 6-0. Next item 5, consideration to approve expenditures. Grand total of all funds, $1,004,155.16 for the period of 11/17/2022.
Motion to approve. Second.
Been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Abraham. Madam President, open for discussion.
Thank you, trustee Shelby, the finance chairwoman. Will you please read the warrant list?
Okay, this is the warrant list of November the 17th, 2022. Vendors are A-Lamp Concrete Contractors Incorporated, $383,551.69. Admin Consulting Specialist LLC, $4,500. Baker Tilly US LLP, $10,948.75. CDS Office Technologies, $21,962.20. Comcast Business, $4,693.38. ComEd, $6,215.34. Curry Motors, $109,734.48. Electrical Resource Management Incorporated, $5,100. Fire Service Incorporated, $5,634.37. Grasco Graphics Incorporated, $7,081.43. Illinois Counties Risk Management Trust, $356,762. Lincoln National Life Insurance, $6,852.08. Montana and Welch LLC, $11,773.03. Nicor Gas, $5,586.92. Phase 3 Marketing Chicago Inc., $4,500. South Central Capital Group LLC, $4,125. STP Transport, $3,450. Stryker Sales LLC, $3,297.04. Target Solutions Learning LLC, $2,715.76. Tier Point LLC, $2,911.34. The Village of Romeoville Fire Academy, $4,075. The total expenditures over $25,000 is $965,469.81, which is 96% of total expenditures in the amount of $1,004,155.16. Okay, the following funds were affected by these expenditures. The general fund in the amount of $608,801.22. The Roosevelt Road TIF Fund, $432.50. The 17th Avenue TIF North, $1,462.50. the 19th Street TIF in the amount of $48.75, the Water and Sewage Fund in the amount of $393,410.19, again for a grand total of $1,004,155.16. Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave?
I don't have a question.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Armour?
May I ask the finance director to please read what is the water and sewage fund, the amount?
The finance director is not here. He's
I meant to
filling in.
say
The Water and Sewage Fund is $393,410.19.
perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Chomalavi,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Armour,
Yes,
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and Madam President, this carries 6-0. Thank you all. Next, item 6, presentations. We have none. Bringing us to item 7, village officer reports, giving at each of our second meetings of the month, starting with the building department. Commissioner David Upshaw.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good evening.
village trustees, residents, and those in attendance.
Good evening.
The October 22nd Village of Broadview building report is on file with the mayor's office and the clerk's office. The highlights are as follows. The red door, located at 1519 through 1521 Roosevelt Road, is a meeting place. The project has been completed, and they have received their certificate of occupancy. Laundry World, located at 1500 Roosevelt Road, permits have been pulled, and the project is underway. Viola Village, that is where the recreational dispensary is, will be located, 1516 Roosevelt Road. Plans have been approved, and they will be pulling permits next week. Safety Control Technology, SCT, located at 2100 Roosevelt Road. They have received their certificate of occupancy. They also have been given a temporary business license, and on December 19th, 2022 at 1 p.m., there will be a ribbon cutting ceremony. All are invited. Lastly, the business licenses for 2023 will be going out at the end of November. Mayor, Board, that concludes my report. I'll entertain any questions at this time.
Thank you, Commissioner Upshaw. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
no questions, but I heard some good news today.
Trustee Chalmalave?
Excuse me, no question.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
Yes, you said the laundromat on 15th and Roosevelt?
Yes.
What are they going to be doing there?
Laundry World, it is a modern laundromat.
Okay, it's a modern laundromat?
Yes. They'll be using key fobs and coins and things of that
Okay.
nature.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Shelby. Trustee Armour?
I just have a couple of items for the commissioner. SCT Clinic was given a temporary business license.
Correct.
Okay, I heard about that when I got an invitation to the upcoming ribbon cutting. And I thought we had agreed that you would just let me know when you issue those temporary business licenses. It was quite a surprise. I wanted you to know that. And, because I hadn't received anything for them. And what's the purpose? I know it's a clinic, but why do we have a clinic in Broadview when Loyola is just right down the road and family practice is right there on 12th? I mean, I'm just asking what kinds of things they will be, I haven't seen anything on the clinic. There isn't anything in the legislation packet.
So I can't address what's going on with Loyola or anything that's outside the village of Broadview, but in the village of Broadview, we have SCT, which is a clinic that will be doing testing, they will be doing exams and any types of physicals for pretty much the Chicagoland area. They are a nationwide company. They used to be located in Chicago. They saw fit to relocate to the village of Broadview. And hopefully, when their business application comes before the board for consideration, it will be approved and we can move forward.
Well, I would like to just affirm with you while you're here. I mean, I'm still learning how things work around in the village of Broadview while I serve in this role, and it would be appreciative, as we agreed previously, to just let the chair of the Business License Committee know, when you're going to issue a business license, because, there may be some situations where I might have to bring to, my co-chairs and even present something to the full board. So I thought we had agreed to that. Can we agree to doing that?
Duly noted.
Excuse me?
Duly noted.
Oh, thank you very much. And what else do I have to say regarding this? That's it for now, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Miller.
No questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Upshaw.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the Finance Department. Finance Director Tim Hicks. In his stead, we have Budget Officer Tom Hood reporting.
Good evening, trustees, Madam Mayor, everyone else. The finance report is on file with the mayor's office and the clerk's office. I would like to segue into the next section here by taking a look at that report. Some people might be alarmed by that negative number in the bottom right-hand corner. That is because the second half of last year's taxes have been delayed and have not been received by the village. The second part of this is tax bills went out and we're expecting money soon. So over the next couple months, we will catch up on all this money that's making that number big. What else is going on in finance? November 15th, we paid off the rollover bond, and I am in the process of getting the funds from the debt reserves to pay off our remaining 2003A debt and the 2015 debt, in which case the only debt the village will have left is the capital appreciation bond that was used for this building. So we reached a milestone, and back in 2003 we borrowed a bunch of money to redo streets, and we're finally paying it off on December 1st.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave? Trustee Shelby?
No questions. I had all my questions answered prior to the meeting.
Thank you. Trustee Armour?
Okay, I'm just getting all this information today, and thank you so much. I think you guys are doing a great job. I do have a question regarding the finance area, and it's a huge $443,557 amount in the negative, and I was just wondering what's driving that red number in the finance department.
I found out I was speaking about 20 minutes ago. I cannot answer that question. I will get with Mr. Hickson and reply to you all directly. I can tell you what I think it is, and I'm just guessing. When we pay our insurances, it always goes here, and then we have to allocate it to the other departments. But let me verify that with Mr. Hicks, and I will answer.
Can you please follow up in an
Sure.
email for me?
Yes.
Thank you so much. And that's all I've got for you, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Miller?
Just a call out. I hate that the taxes are delayed, considering that they weren't delayed to come out of our
Yeah.
mortgages and our bills. Has the state given any type of update as to when they'll be releasing funds, or we just on hold for that? Or that might be a finance question, so if you don't know, that's fine, I can follow up. Okay.
So it's not the state that regulate our property taxes, it's Cook County. And so Cook County have just released the property tax bill last week. So if you go online and you put in your Cook County PIN number, you can see where the payments are for the tax bills to be released. However, they have until December 31st, so we're gonna start seeing money trickling in from January probably to mid-February. And so the only thing that I would tell each homeowner as that takes place, because like you said, they didn't take it out your mortgage, but what's gonna happen is you know how they do an annual assessment on your mortgage or your property insurance?
Your escrow.
Your escrow, pay attention to that, because depending on what your mortgage company only paid what they estimated it to be. Cook County may estimate it to be 2,000 more than what was anticipated, so be prepared for the escrow account to take place. So that's Cook County.
Yeah, I already got that escrow bill.
Yeah, but it might be different than what you got.
Don't speak.
All I can tell you,
Right, that was a
trustee,
cool $3,000.
be prepared. Be prepared for the escrow to change, because you don't know what the difference is based off what they paid versus what the county is saying we owe.
Okay, so we anticipating early next year to kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they have until the 31st.
Okay, thank
I've
you.
been tracking, because I pay a mortgage with escrow too.
Yeah,
And we get the calls here, the clerk and I get the calls as it relates to property taxes
Okay.
from the residents. So
Thank you.
we own it. That's it?
that was it.
All right,
And
thank
you
you.
know, I'd like to add on there, for those that do not have a mortgage or do not escrow, remember, this is late. They probably won't be late next time. And they will be expecting another payment at the end of March.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
so don't think you have a lot of extra money and go spend it, because they're gonna come and
Don't get their money.
want more.
gonna get you.
Refund and take it back.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Director, Budget Officer Hood.
Thank you. Next, we have the Fire Department, Chief Tracy Kinney, and a special guest, Lily, giving the report.
My future weekend two camper.
Hi,
Stay
Lily.
right there, okay. Good evening, everybody. Just want to talk a little bit about, we had Safety Saturday last weekend, that's the last one for 2022. We will have another one if we see an uptick in something that's safety related within the village. Otherwise, you won't see another one till March, which would be all about safety spring cleanup. We had all 4 departments work together, and it was a great day, and you will see that online on the website within the next 2 weeks. I have something in my regular report that I just want you to keep out for when I talk about the MABUS agreement and that coming up. Would you like me to talk about that now, or wait?
No, wait till you get to the legislation.
Okay, so the last page of my regular report, just keep that open, and I'll help you understand that a little better. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Chief Kenny.
Thank you.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave? Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Armour?
I just wanted the chief to realize, it's like right on the front page of page 1 of your report, under the emergency services for Hines. Your total for the month is 27, but it should be 28. That's it.
Oh, my number's off, huh?
Yeah.
The computer counted wrong. Okay,
I
thank
just-
you.
You're welcome.
Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Thank you, Chief Kenny.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Lily. Next, we have the Police Department, Chief Tom Mills.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees,
Good evening, Chief.
residents.
Good evening.
You should have my monthly report in your package. What I would like to highlight off of the report is our main cases that we're dealing with here in the village of Broadview, crime-wise, is all thefts. I mean, it's any crime is too much crime, but what we are having issues is catalytic converter thefts, which is a nationwide problem. We covered that with Chief Tracy. SCP Twin came out, gave a phenomenal demonstration on how quick it is to remove a catalytic converter and how the car would sound if they did take your catalytic converter. He did it in under, 30 seconds. Same thing with motor vehicle thefts. Deputy Chief Smith was very politely beg people and our residents to not leave their cars running with their keys inside, and we've had 3 already this week. So we have posted on our website that if we have to, and we really don't ever want to hurt our residents, but we also have to do a great job in protecting our residents, that I've instructed the officers as they ride around the village, if they see a car running and it has keys, we're going to knock on the door first and try to alert that resident, and if we see it again, we're going to ticket. You know, we hate to cause a financial burden, but at the same time, a $50 ticket is better than a $20,000, $30,000 loss of a vehicle. And most of these stolen cars are being used in and around our town and other towns for violent crime. So again, we will give that warning, but after that, we are going to start issuing citations for leaving the car running. And again, they know only if the keys are inside, because if you have an automatic starter, you don't need your keys, and they can't do anything with the car. You know, it's very sad as we hear the news last night before, all these mass shootings in and around town. But I'm very proud to say that both our schools here in the village, Lindop and Roosevelt, has contacted us. And we are going to have threat assessment training for both schools in the next 30 days. Like I said, they tendered to us their threat assessment plan, and we have everything scheduled, so that's on board. I will be in contact, both Chief Tracy and Chief Kenny and I'm sorry, with Trustee Miller to schedule a committee meeting, because we have a lot of things going with the Ike 911, in that we're having discussions to have the Ike 911 become an independent agency between Maywood and Broadview, so there's questions with that. Also, we were contacted by Westcom, which is a dispatch center for Oak Park, Forest Park, and River Forest, for possible consolidation. There was a couple of small meetings conducted, and so that's very, very in a preliminary. It's not even, it's still so many steps that must be conducted before we give it some serious thought. So again, I will reach out to Trustee Miller right after the holidays and schedule a committee meeting for the first of the year to discuss more in detail, so we can share with everyone what's going on with the Ike 911. Other than that, if anyone has any questions.
Thank you, Chief. For the messaging, we need the information so that we can send out blast emails to the residents.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you have hard copies of the messaging, we need to make sure that that goes to Lily so that she can send it out to our list that prefer to get it in the mail.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. Trustee Abraham?
Yes, I do. Chief, I know I spoke to you just prior to the meeting about as we're going into the holiday season. I don't know if you want to say something about that now with the police presence, because obviously we're going to have an increased volume of shoppers into our community, as well as our own shoppers and congestion and just businesses, safety-wise.
Thank you, Trustee. So yes, we've already have a plan in place, starting with Black Friday. All of our officers are very well engaged with the community. They hang out at the Broadview Village Square as well as the Roosevelt Road corridor, but we will have a new contingency plan in place daily. You'll see more cars, some empty, some not. No one knows if it's empty. The officers could be inside, or they just may be outside walking around the various stores. So you'll see more police presence on the Roosevelt Road corridors as well as the Broadview Village Square through we get through the Christmas holidays.
Thank you. That's it, Trustee Abraham?
Yes, that was
Thank
it.
you. Trustee Senior?
Thank you.
No, I think you touched on everything.
Thank you. Trustee Chamalave?
I do have questions. After the active threat assessment, will there be a drill conducted with the students or something?
Can you talk into the mic?
After the active threat assessment, is the plan to do a drill with the children?
Well, normally what we have scheduled right now is with the teachers. And then what would normally transpire after, because we don't ever want to traumatize the children with the same type of training. Right. There have been instances where we've had training with the teachers and they became traumatized. So, you know, that's why we spoke with Dr. Jackson and Dr. Griffin from Roosevelt. They share with us their plan, so we want to mirror their plan so we're not overloading them with the police side of response. And then after that, we'll put together a plan for probably the more of a lockdown drill and how to remove people out of there so there won't be any, you know, no guns running around the schools and things like that. Right. But the big message is so these teachers, they're very knowledgeable, because this has been a problem for years now, and I know there's been so much training. But what was really good is we'd already started this process. Sergeant Clayton has been to 4 different trainings, so we can get the best of of all these available trainings. And like I said before, we could even put a date down. Dr. Jackson from Lindop and Dr. Griffin from Roosevelt has reached out and says, hey, you know, whenever you're available, so it's already scheduled.
Okay. I would just like to be notified when that's happening.
The school will notify you. When they, the school
Okay.
will, that's the school's responsibility.
Okay, so the school will let me know, because you know, my son attends
Yes.
Roosevelt, so I'm interested in knowing how that training, or, you know, how they're going to
Sure.
prepare them.
Yeah, that's the school.
And so, and I have to say that they're, as far as their entry doors, you can't get in there.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
but the, and perhaps this is a conversation for, you know, another time, but
Sure.
I just wanted to mention that as we speak about safety, you know, I do see some of the cars there, but there is an issue there with people that don't perhaps live in Broadview or don't live in the area using the one-way, using the two-way,
Okay.
and the children are getting out, and there is, you know, there's no parallel parking anymore. And so it's just something I want to address, because I feel that we could probably just do something to make it safer for the children who are trying to cross the street. And
Yes,
it's the people who I see,
Is that on 15th or 14th?
it is on 14th, because they exit on 14th.
Yes.
They enter on they enter on 14th, they exit on 15th. Sorry. So, the entrance is not the problem, it's
Right,
exiting.
exiting.
Is that in before or after school?
After.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Chamalabi.
No
Trustee Shelby?
questions.
Trustee Armour?
I don't have any questions for the chief.
Thank you, Trustee Miller.
No questions. We'll talk about it later.
Thank you,
Thank you
Chief
very
Mills.
much. Okay.
Thank you, Chief. Next is Public Works Department Director Matt Ames.
Good evening, Corporate Authority, Mayor, Board of Trustees, everyone in attendance.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening.
The highlights from this monthly report is the fact that we should be complete with the construction for the water main improvement within the next 2 weeks, weather holds up. Also, the parking lots, however, they probably will not come online until sometime in the wintertime, for the simple fact that we've got a proposal before us that the corporate authority is going to have to make a decision on, vote up or down, based off of the information that Chief Mills and myself has ascertained. We did do the Safety Saturday to, if nothing else, try and message, reiterate the importance of making sure that the sidewalks are free and clear for the sweepers to get by and remove the snow, but more so for the pedestrians and their safety. At this time, I will entertain questions or comments, Mayor.
Thank you, Director Ames. Trustee Abraham?
No, just one question, if the director wants to comment on it. Just, I know you did the Safety Saturday, which is very informative with snow and all that, and what was going on the sidewalk on the streets. I'm assuming moving forward, even in the holidays, if we get an early snow, you guys are gonna be out, there'll be announcements, correct? Just so that the residents have an idea. So, I'm gonna thank him for that, so we'll get those out immediately.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh, Trustee Senior?
I got my answers, my questions answered already before, so I'm good, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Chamalabi?
No, just a comment. I really appreciate your staff. Which is really cool.
Thank you, trustee.
That's it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Armour?
Regarding the senior citizens van pool, I see you cutting back on that due to staff, but, you know, as a senior citizen in the village now, I would encourage you not to do that for the senior citizens because they need a lot, and a lot of them may not have strong family support. And so they don't really have a way of getting around. So I'm just requesting that you can reconsider cutting the van pool for the seniors.
We've not necessarily cut anything. I do know that we've had staffing issues, and we also had mechanical issues with the bus. But the bus is up and running, and I've not been privy to anybody not, or should I say, having an appointment or schedule denied.
So these hours that's listed on your report are regular hours that you have?
For now, they are, ma'am.
Okay, because it says it just sounds like it's being shortened due to personnel to me. So I didn't know what was
And that's temporary. I mean, like most of Public Works operations is dynamic, depending on equipment, weather, staffing.
All right. So as long as it's the same thing. It's not like you're cutting or reducing anything down.
We're not,
Okay,
we will most certainly transport our seniors.
All right. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Armour. So for a point of clarity, the senior bus has been out of service due to mechanical issues and personnel. However, services have not lacked as it relates to providing transportation for our seniors because they have access to the Proviso Township Senior Transportation. So they have not lacked in anybody that participate in this. And if you're looking at the report, in August, we provided 203 rides in a month. So it's not a lack or a reduction in services. From time to time, we do have mechanical issues where we can't safely transport, and we have to be conscious of that because that's the liability to the village. We have personnel, things come up in their personal lives that happen. They're either sick or got some personal business they need to take care of, but all of our requests that want to use the Broadview senior bus, they make a request through making an appointment. So I just wanted to have a point of clarity, Mr. Clerk. Thank you. Trustee
I
Miller?
appreciate that. Thank you, Mayor.
No questions.
Thank you, Director Ames.
Thank you, Director. Next is the Administrative Department, Village Administrator Letisa Jones.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, residents.
Good evening.
My report as well is on file in the clerk's office and also in the mayor's office. A couple of things that I want to highlight. I do want to thank the mayor and the board of trustees for approving for November 3rd, our change of policy for COVID. So of where now our employees don't have to be tested weekly. So I do appreciate you approving that for us. As long as it remains, our numbers remain low, we will stay with this policy pass, but if our numbers increase, we will go back to wearing the mask and also of where it'll be weekly testing. So I just want to tell you that. Also, we have a couple of, on our job, on our website, our job opportunities, we have a couple of job opportunities. We're looking for a part-time records clerk in the police department, and it's $15 an hour. We do have the descriptions online on our website, just so you know. So if anybody interested, please have them email me and get their resume and also their applications to me by December 15th. Also, we're looking for another PACE bus driver. Again, $15 an hour. That is on our website as well. If anybody's interested or you know of anyone, please ask them to send me their application and also their email. Lastly, we're looking for a part-time building code enforcer officer. That job pays, again, at $15 an hour. If anybody is interested or you know of anyone, please have them send me their application and their resume. Mayor, that concludes my report. I'm open for questions.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Chalmalabi?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
Yes, for the part-time building code, you saying that's part-time?
Code enforcement, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Armour?
Regarding these roles, these openings, these positions that are open,
Mm-hmm.
do they have to be residents of Broadview?
No, it's open to any and everybody. But we've been fortunate, but we have a lot of residents that apply, and that we look forward to. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you,
That's
Trustee Armour. Trustee Miller?
This is not for the administration office. This is just in general. I appreciate all the department heads giving kind of an update as to just what's going on versus getting up saying, it's on file, it's on file. So I appreciate all you guys for doing that. I know that just like if I was a resident sitting on the Zoom, are we on Zoom? Yeah, on the Zoom call or anything of that nature, I would kind of want to know, like, give me some highlights. So that was one of my requests, and I appreciate y'all for making sure that we kind of give some updates. Now back to the administration office. I'm happy to see that we're opening it up and having employment opportunities. A lot of people always ask, and I don't know if they ask other trustees, but I hear a lot of people, they'll ask me, hey, y'all hiring? And I'm like, I don't do hiring. So it's good that they can go online and check out any job opportunities. And I urge Broadview residents, especially those that need additional income or support, apply for the jobs. And in my opinion, I know the mayor pushes this too, to try to keep our dollars at home within our own community. But, you know, if other people apply and we miss that opportunity, try not to wait till the deadline and that day of to say, let me get my application in. Unfortunately, I know that happens, but I'm glad to see that we have opportunities for our residents as well as others to apply for jobs. That was it. Thanks.
Thank you, Trustee Miller. Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. That concludes our village officer reports. Next is item 8, old business. We have none. Bringing us to item 9, new business. Item A, a motion to accept and approve the preliminary estimate of the 2022 property tax levy, which will be collected in the year 2023, in accordance with the truth and taxation laws of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President, open for discussion.
Thank you, Mr.
If I may, Mayor, the motion should be, because there's a specified number in the packet. So if I may ask that
I
one
was
of the
gonna say
trustees.
that
Oh,
in
okay.
there.
I apologize, Mayor.
Thank you. So as required by the state law, the board must approve the estimated tax levy at least 20 days before the levy itself is passed. The estimated, the 22 property tax levy collected in 2023 in the amount of $7,697,442 in accordance with the truth and taxation law of Illinois. Trustee Abraham, you have any questions or comments?
No.
Thank you. Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave?
I do not.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
I had my questions answered prior to the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Armour?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Chamalave,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Armour,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and Madam President, this carries 6-0. Thank you all. Next, item B, an ordinance authorizing an intergovernmental agreement for participation in the Mutual Aid Box Alarm System, MABUS, Master Agreement, 2022.
Motion to approve.
I second.
Who second?
Trustee Shelby.
Thank you. Madam President, it's been properly motioned by Trustee Miller, seconded by Trustee Shelby. Your floor.
Thank you. Chief Kenny, you want to tell us about this ordinance?
Yes, so I'll keep this short and sweet. In 1968, and I'm just going to go back that far, this was started by
So
Chicago.
nice and sweet.
I promise. By Chicago, and we were part of the original. And it was just to make it so that if there's something of a larger scale, we were able to go and help each other and stay in the same path. So this spread throughout the whole state. We are very unique in having this. For example, if we get a fire in town, the departments that come and assist us know who they are. So once we say we have a box 100, which is like a residential fire, the departments that are local that come to it know who they are. That's all this is. They come, they follow the same orders that they would as if we were in their town. If you look on that last page, like I told you, that we have this mutual aid received, automatic aid received. Mutual aid received would be if we had a fire or if we had an ambulance that we go back and forth. And then automatic aid is if we had an alarm that they had to respond to with us. Say Heinz has an alarm that goes off, they know that they have to respond with us. And then lastly, where it says none, it just means that that alarm was called off and we didn't have to use our mutual aid. So we're always protected in that. I know that our ambulance gets there, then we have the additional help coming. So that's it. If anyone has any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Trustee Abraham?
No questions?
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave?
I'm sorry, I just didn't quite understand. Is there a benefit?
So, yeah, I'll explain really quick. We have what we call box alarm cards. So if we have a fire and we need more resources, those resources know who they are. They know that if the boxes go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I say I need a box, an original box, a box alarm, which is the first box, the companies that are supposed to come locally will just be there. I don't have to sit there and go, okay, who's closer?
Okay.
Who should I call? Should I call them? They just know they're coming.
Okay.
So, and then if the fire gets bigger, I go to the second box and the next companies come. So
I understand.
it's predetermined is the best way to say it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Armour?
I just have one question for you, Chief.
Sure.
What happens, can you give in a hypothetical example of how the mutual aid would work if we have a catastrophe in the nation? How does that work?
So that's a great question. So even if we just had a catastrophe in this area, our box alarms are different in the fact that like box 100, that refers to residential homes. Box 200 is buildings that are like apartment complexes. Box 1500 is something like Heinz VA, larger complexes. So as those change and are unique in their own, we have more companies coming to assist. So if we had a fire in town, we automatically get 4 other companies coming to help us. If we have a fire at Heinz, that's a different story. It's a larger building. We get about 10 different companies in the end that will help us. So each box card is unique in that it goes by what's going on and what's happening. For example, if we have an MCI, was what we call it, a mass casualty incident. If we have multiple people that are injured, it brings us at least 10 ambulances at a time. Whereas if we just have a regular accident, which is our box 199 for an accident, we get 5 ambulances off the bat. So they're all uniquely created for those incidents.
Okay, I guess I wasn't clear on proposing my question. You know, with all these things that's happening in our world, what happens if we have, how does it, I heard and I understood what you said, but how does this work, this mutual agreement? And I love, the idea of, getting all the, municipalities together to help one another.
I think I know where you're going with this. If we have something on a very large scale within the United States, we have something called a task force model. Police do the same thing.
What's it called?
Task force. So say we were to go we've been to Utica. Utica had a tornado years ago. And we created a task force where this area of Illinois came up with like 5 engines, 5 trucks, 3 squads, and a couple chiefs. And we all went there together as a task force. That's also part of this agreement. This MABUS actually sends out the call to say, New Orleans needs you. There's something that's happened there. Can you create this many vehicles to go and assist them? So that's why this MABUS works, because we're not taking a whole bunch of vehicles from this division. We're taking them from all over the state of Illinois and bringing them together as a task force.
Yes.
And again, those are predetermined.
Yeah.
That's part of this.
Okay, so when you say it's predetermined as to who will get the priority in a catastrophe, because you can't go by the boxes, because everybody needs the services.
We go by who has the vehicle that's needed and that's available. But we go down a list of them.
Okay,
So,
and each village should have its own liability insurance in place, if it's a catastrophe, or period. Right?
well, if we're taking a MABUS vehicle, which we have, MABUS takes care of that insurance. But yes, if it's our own, yes.
How much insurance, liability insurance did we plan?
So with that, with asking for costs, if it's additional information you need from the chief as it relates to this, you can schedule an appointment with her to get your questions asked, to have a more in-depth dialogue. I do know that they do have a task force that's attached to this as it relates to the training that they go to. The fire department go to all of these task force meeting trainings so that if it's a catastrophe that happens anywhere, it can happen in Broadview at one of the manufacturers. We get the support that we need, and we provide the support that's needed of others. I know they've been to New Orleans, Utica. So Trustee, if you want more dialogue and more conversation, this is a business meeting, not an informational training session for you personally.
Well, okay, Mayor, I actually didn't really get my question answered, and I just got this information today, so I'm just trying to get understanding.
Again, if
And
you would like,
the last
again, if you
question-
would like to have an in-depth conversation with the chief, schedule an appointment to meet with her and talk about it.
Actually, my question was not directed toward the chief. It was really directed toward the finance budget officer. If he just knew
So-
right off the top how much
We had a
we had
budget
set
that,
aside.
we had a budget that approved for our liability insurance. You have that information, you can go back into your docket to read the information that you do want. We need to move on. Thank you, Chief Kenny. Trustee Miller?
Just to help Trustee Armour, since I chair the Fire and Police Committee, if there's something that you want to address after this meeting, I'm willing to sit and maybe we can set up an appointment with the chief. I understand we just got the packet of certain stuff today, but some of this came out Thursday. Thank you, clerk, for getting us some of the information early.
Thank the attorney.
Yeah, well, came from your email, so, but we did hound the mayor, like, can we get it sooner? So if there's some questions still, we can talk about it, but I appreciate the information being here, and I think the financial side of it is a separate discussion as well, but
I'd be happy in our committee meeting in January to do just a PowerPoint on how this is and
Thank
how
you.
it works.
Thank
So
you.
make more sense to everybody. So I'll put that together.
thank you.
And Trustee Miller, just for a point of clarity, the legislation did come out on Thursday. The board reports came out today, and that was because I was traveling, and I did let the clerk know that I forgot to hit send for him to get the board reports to you guys. So the process for us is all legislation and board reports come to my office. I review and I read the information. I send it to the clerk. However, with the legislation, I wanted to make sure that the legislation came out on Thursday for you guys to have an opportunity to read the legislation, and we are on the section of new business legislation. So just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah, I
welcome.
figured it was a hiccup, so I appreciate getting all the stuff Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Kenny. Mr. Clerk?
Yep, that's the plan moving forward, trustee. So
Thank you.
at this time, Madam President, would you like a roll call?
Yes, please.
Roll call, trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Chalmalabi,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Shelby,
Yes.
trustee Armour,
Yes.
trustee Miller.
Yes.
And this carries 6-0, Madam President. Thank you all. Next is item 10, application for the authority to expend funds. We have none. Item 11, no closed session this evening. Item 12, village clerk report. Just a couple of quick things, everyone. Madam President, I want to thank you once again for your annual community breakfast last Saturday at the Broadview Family Restaurant. The mayor invited residents out to our annual community breakfast, and it was a packed house. We had all of our department heads, various staff members, board members from not only this board, but all of our taxing bodies throughout the village of Broadview. And it was really good to sit down and have breakfast and talk with the residents that did show up. We had a great time. I want to remind everyone that this is the season where COVID cases start ticking up, and while we do have certain legislation that we passed that we aren't mandated for masks, I just want to have everyone be real careful when you're out and about. Still practice social distancing when you can. Still wear your mask if you can. The virus is still out there. And lastly, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you.
You too, clerk.
Same to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Next is item 13, Village President, Mayor Katrina Thompson.
Thank you, and good evening to all. Some sad news in the village of Broadview. One of our young people, Keyshawn Gray, lost his life yesterday in a car accident. You know, anybody that know Mr. and Mrs. Gray? It's their second grandson. So I got the news this morning. I spoken with Miss Gray this morning as it relates to what took place, and it was a car accident. They are still doing some investigation. But just keep that family uplifted in your prayers.
What's their last name, Mary?
Gray. Keyshawn was he was just well-rounded, always polite, always engaged, always participated. But, you know, young people become adults, and he's an adult. And he lost his dad in 2021, and Miss Gray lost her oldest son in 2019. And I just keep replaying what she said to me. 2019, 2021, and now in 2022. So they have 2 other grandchildren that's still living, but keep them in your prayers. And I've been checking on her throughout the day. And I'll keep you posted, Trustee Miller, because Trustee Miller had called Charisma, Trustee Miller's daughter, and Keyshawn were really good friends. So she's taking it pretty hard, so keep her lifted up too. Whew. But we have so much to be grateful for and thankful this holiday season. Just tell people you love them on a regular basis. Show kindness, love, and be happy as much as you can. People are struggling with job loss, mental health, health issues, death in the family. And here we are in another holiday season of Thanksgiving. But I'm grateful and I'm thankful. I'm in good health. I'm in my good mind. My daughter came into town to celebrate Thanksgiving with me, so I'm blessed. Couldn't ask for anything more. That I have my daughter that's still a part of the walking. So some village highlights. Last week, Trustee Senior and Child Malabi and myself went to NLC in Kansas City. It was a conference that I think was a lot of aha moments took place with Trustee Child Malabi and Trustee Senior. They actually get to see the work that I do on a federal and national level on these multiple boards, and they were able to participate in some discussions that we've had. You know, when we have some downtime, we all kind of get together as colleagues from time to time. And so they were able to participate in a lot of those conversations and sit in some of the constituents groups that I'm a part of and hear those conversations with people across the nation. And the work that we're doing in Broadview, for us to be so small, I promise you they think we are a population of 100,000. Literally. And so we just keep doing the work. And it is a lot of work that we do. But I'm grateful that they had that opportunity to go. I hope they continue to participate in all professional developments that's afforded to them as they serve on this village board. The next conference is going to be in Washington, D.C. That's the advocacy conference, where you advocate for services at a federal level. So Lily will be sending out some emails to the Board of Trustees, those that want to take part in that training. I would encourage all of you all that's either appointed or elected. We put money in the budget for you to go to trainings, and I know certain things come up where you can't go because it's a timing or you work in a job or, you know, whatever the need is, but it's imperative that you get engaged on what's taking place, because guess what? You don't know what you don't know. And if you're always looking at what's in the village Broadview borders, guess what? You don't know nothing. You don't. You got to get out of Broadview and expand your knowledge base on how things are ran, how things are run, and just listen to other elected officials, how they serve on their boards. It's a different look than what we have in the village of Broadview when you start talking to people. So we're grateful for that we have a good cohesive board where we can get things done. We are, literally. When you talk about talking to some of the other mayors and the other council people and all of the things that take place. So last week, Trustee Senior hosted the Water Affordability Project with the Metropolitan Planning Council in Elevate. The report will be available in January, and we'll invite them back to do a presentation in front of the board on their findings. But I think what was the most disappointed, or, yeah, I could say disappointed, is that no one showed up. Not a resident and not nobody from that committee. And when we're talking about water and affordability and what that looks like for us, you only get the input from us on what we give out. And it's important when we're talking about how we afford water, our infrastructure and the cost and what's around us and how all of these different things function. You relying on secondhand information when they did a full presentation on what the water affordability project is. So you have the agenda. We left the agenda at your place setting so you can see what was talked about and how that's going to impact. I know Justin at the Metropolitan Planning Council have interviewed residents. They have interviewed stakeholders, and they wanted to interview some elected officials, but only one showed up. So the report is, we still got to continue with the flow of things. So the report is going to come out with those that were there to get questions answered. Also, last week we wrapped up our conversation with the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus, and this was in partnership with Agent in the Changing Region and a collaboration with Mayor Harvey in the Village of Bellwood. And so this workshop, that concluded our workshops, and I was disappointed about that too, because we did messaging around that, and people that said they were going to commit to be on the board didn't even show up to the final workshop. We had one resident that showed up to the workshop last week as it relates to how you age in a community. And when we talk about aging, guess what? Every day God opened our eyes. Guess what we're doing? We're aging. We are aging, and so it wasn't just for the seniors. It was for all ages, because everybody have input on what they would like to see as they age in their home. And so that report will be released in 2023. The following are some of the things that we had discussed: homeowners aging in their homes, which may no longer be appropriate for their needs, and having a few available options to downsize, affordable housing, or maybe someone had a stroke and need a ramp now because they need accessibility in their home. 2, the residents lacking transportation, options to run errands, get groceries, or go to the doctor. Well, we have the senior bus, and we also have Proviso Township. So we're blessed that they're able to do that, but some of the conversation that came up was the walking distance. Are the sidewalk safe for them to walk on the sidewalk to get to the destination? So that's part of transportation. Streets, sidewalks, and alleys are a part of transportation. And when we talk about going to conferences and being informed and educated and knowledgeable on municipal services, that's why it's important to go to trainings and conferences so that you know the lingo and the language that take place, not just in your limited scope of where we are in Broadview and how we get the funding to support some of these things. Residents stuck at home without broadband or connection to the community. It's a lot of seniors that don't have access to broadband. You would be shocked. And how do they get connected if they homebound? You know, they in the house, they watching TV, and they have no other way of communicating. That's why those that's on our mailing list, everything that we put out, we send them something in the mail, because that keeps them connected to us. So we send out that. We have about 275 residents on that list so that they have access to the information. We learn all of this in conferences on how we connect to the community, how we stay united. That's why we have so many forms of communicating, whether it's the website, email blasts, robocalls, the mailers, and we're looking into going to a texting where we can text to stay connected, because a lot of them have access to a cell phone where they can text and we can communicate that way. And then finally, services and facilities not designed for a growing share of our older residents. So for Broadview, we have the senior housing, 72 units. And just last week, we met with some investors in a group that's looking to do some housing. So the conversation is, it's just started on what that would look like to include more housing for that population, whether it's seniors or veterans. But you can read any newspaper or any article as it talks about homelessness and what the impact is on people that's homeless in communities, and we don't have enough housing to accommodate that. Or you got, just recently out in Skokie, you got investors that want to buy a complex that was condos and turn them into apartments to create housing, but guess what happens? They outprice the apartments, and people can't afford to stay there either. So it's a problem, and when we go to these conferences, we can go to that. I chaired our Metropolitan Housing Committee so that I'm engaged and stay connected on the benefit of being a resident in Broadview and how we bring housing and how we have that at our forefront of any development plan that we talk about. If you look around us, you can see Bellwood is thriving and developing their community. Maywood is doing the same with local businesses. But guess what happens? If they bring in businesses to town, maybe those people don't want to live there. They want to live somewhere else. Where do they go? That's for us to figure out. I can't figure it out by myself. It takes all of us that's elected to figure that out. And I'm glad that Trustee Senior and Trustee Chalmalabi got to be a part of a lot of those conversations. Because now they can know that they need to be intentional on what their platform is going to be and how we engage the community on where the direction that we go in moving forward. So we have a lot of work to do. And I'm one person carrying a heavy load, and I'm not complaining, I'm just sharing that it takes all of us to be intentional how we move this village forward where we can sustain, because I have to leave this place in a better place than how I received it. And I want to pass the torch to someone that's going to take it and have the same passion and concerns, well, maybe not the same concerns, but the same passion to love on Broadview, to make sure everything we do is what's best for Broadview. It's not about Katrina. It's not about nobody else. It's about what's best for Broadview and the people that live and work here every single day, what's best. And when we have department head meetings, those are the conversations that we have in our department heads meeting. What is best? If people come to us and it don't meet our criteria, it's not best for us, and we just move on. We say thank you, but thank you for your opportunity. It's not best for Broadview. So we always looking at it from a lens of what's best. That's how we became Broadview Strong, because everything that we've done has been what's best for Broadview. I just got an email today, Housing Forward is going to be able to move forward with their project because they got the funding. I sent you the email, Commissioner Upshaw. They got they had a gap in their funding for the housing, and so they got that gap filled. So they're going to be building a 16-unit housing complex in the village of Broadview. That's coming online. So they're going to be reaching out to, after they, purchase the land and do all of the other things, they're going to reach out to Commissioner Upside to bring that online. And that housing development is for young people that's aging out of DCFS that have nowhere to go. And in this apartment, they're going to have wraparound services on how we care for the person while they in this transitional opportunity. Hopefully they have gainful employment. They have access, it's right there where they have access to transportation. They're able to get to the Blue Line if they need to go to the city, or if they need to get down Roosevelt Road. IDOT is looking to do some transportation as it relates to we're having conversations on how we connect from Roosevelt and 25th to the industrial corridor, because it's not a safe passage for people riding bikes or need to walk off the bus. So a couple of mayors and myself are working with the CMAP to figure that out. So we are doing the work for what's best for Broadview and how we engage the people in the community. Thursday, I'm inviting the clerk and all of the trustees to have lunch with the departments. We're going to provide lunch Wednesday, Wednesday, we're going to provide lunch for the departments just to say thank you, because they work really hard for us. They stayed under budget, even with the property tax thing going on, but they work really hard, and this is our way to say thank you to our staff. Because sometimes when you don't say thank you to your staff, they think out of sight, out of mind. They just don't care. They just want us to come to work. They just want to tell us to do this, because it is a lot that we got to do. But we just want to say thank you. So those that want to come are more than welcome to participate in the luncheon that I'll be hosting for the departments. It's going to be, each department will get their own lunch and delivered to their respective departments, but this allow you to bounce around from department to department to have a conversation with them. But if you come, your lunch will be here at the Village Hall, and you can pick it up and go wherever you want to go to say thank you to our staff. And it's important that they don't hear it from just me, they need to hear it from you all as well. Our village offices will be closed at noon on Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday we will be closed. So with that being said, I just want to say be blessed, happy Thanksgiving, and let's just do the work together. I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Shelby to adjourn this meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. All in favor, all opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, we are hereby adjourned at 8:44 p.m. Thank you all. Happy Thanksgiving and have a good evening.